everyone. Shilpa Adduri again. So last week we did a basic vase painting, floral work. Let me share my screen on which project we did last week so we can do the advanced session. So my webpage is SereneArtsNCrafts, and this is the vase painting that we did last week. I'll be sharing the basic one as well. But today we'll do a little more in-depth, detailed, advanced level painting. All right, going back to the screen. Okay. So today I have 11 by 14 canvas. I just poured, this was the basic one that we did. And today we're going to do this thing. Okay. And I have 11 by 14 canvas on my table here. And I did pick up raw umber and midnight blue. I just mixed both colors a little bit. Okay. And then I have a pink for my background. Okay. Polka art multi-surface paints are what I'm using today. And make sure you have your brush caddy with water in it. And a 3/4 brush is what we're going to use today. And also I'm going to use a tape to have this straight line for the table. Okay. So to start with, I'm going to wet my brush, take out excess water, and we are going to start with just the pink background. Okay. And I'm going to have some water actually to make it lighten, or you can just do floating medium as well. And I'm going to paint on my top. If you're planning to hang, that's something that let me get some floating medium actually. Floating medium is a paint without pigmentation. There's no color to it. So that will help you lighten also. Okay, let's turn it to the side to make it fast. We're just going end to end. Going in this direction, end to end. Whenever I'm done with the color, I'm just going back, picking up more. So we're keeping it light on the top. I'm making sure all my sides are painted well. And going back and forth, back and forth. Just pink, no other color. I just added a little bit of pink. And now the mix of burnt umber and the dark blue is what I'm picking now. And on here is where the table is going to be. So we're going to make it perfect later with the tape. So for now, I'm just going to go back and forth, keep picking, touch of floating medium to help more easily. Doing the sides as well, both sides. So we are just, what we are doing here is, we're just blending in some darker shade starting from here and then going with the same brush and blending upward. But before that, let me completely cover the bottom also with what I have, and then we can go in there. And add some more blue here. And add a little bit of black. Pure black is what I'm adding here. Okay, on the bottom it's going to be all black. All black is what I'm doing. I'm using all 4-cut multi-surface paints and I'm doing this with a 3/4 flat brush so that I can quickly spread. And now we're going on the bottom. Making sure all sides of my canvas is painted well. If you're planning to hang your painting, that's the best way to make sure to cover everything here. Okay, the bottom is all done. And now I'm going to tape it, making sure I'm keeping that bottom intact. Oops, let me pull one more actually. Let me pull one more. That's it, it came off. Keep this aside, make sure. I think this is a very old tape, that's why. I'm in my best here. Pull off, pull off. Oops, one more time. Let me get the previous one. I almost got it, so I'll just paste this in place. That's good. This is where our separation line is. Okay. And from here, I'm just going to pick up floating medium, touch of blue. And picking up a little bit of pink. Blending in the colors. And I'm not picking anymore. I'm just going to floating medium now. And going in, blending in. And covering on the sides as well. That's all. Going up and down. Lightening the shades here. And I'm good with this. Making sure my sides are covered as well. All set. Now, when you open, you will lose some of this paint. So let's just make sure you're darkening it one more time. Don't press it too hard because we want to keep it light so that it's not picking up paint again. So we're good with some dark paint there. And on the sides, I'm just adding little darker shade. Same way the other side. Adding little dark. Same way the other side. And we are going to add some depth and details later, but for now, let's just hold on to what we have till now. That's it. And we are done with this brush for now. So you can just drop in the water. And I'm going to just dry this so we can do the next step here. So let me pause the video for a minute. Let me dry. All right, so I just dried I dried the canvas on the background side. Now I'm going to just do the details on the bottom here for the tables. Okay? Just have some white on your palette. Oops, little gray, that should be fine. I picked the wrong color, but even this gray is also fine. Okay, and then some floating medium. So we changed our color plan. That's all. And then I'm going to pick up 12 flat. Wet your brush. Take out excess water like always. Okay. And load your brush completely with floating medium. Side load with gray. Then turn it to the side. Have this separating line. One more time, I'm just going side loading with gray. And we can come back and add more details once we do the vase shape, okay? But now, let's keep it to this. So this is the Let me add the use the let me use the chalk so you can see, even if it is black, because the chalk is little darker in color, you should still be able to see. If not, I'll switch to the whiter shades. Okay. Is the wider. Okay. And the vase is bulging out a little bit here. And then here it's coming inward. And because this is our table, it's going to land here. And I'm going to have one going out downward. Okay. And little inward. One more layer from there. And this is going outward. Again here, this is going out. So we have the shape right. If you want to make it more outward, you can do it while you're sketching right now. Okay. And I'm going to take out excess. Make sure you got your shape right. And got your shape right. No. Here you have one layer of water going here. And then water line. It can be lower also, but here you're going to have some curve for the vase. Curve for the vase, outward, outward. And here you're having the inward layer. That's the outward. Okay. So make sure, watch it, keep it straight. So in case if there is any misalignments, you'll know at this time. So this side looks more spread out. So I'm just taking off the image to the other side. Okay, so now we did get all the outline that we are looking for. So now let's just wet this brush, take out excess completely, water, and then just put very little white coming out of this white. So I'm just getting, oops, that's a lot. We can make use of it later, but I'm loading completely with floating medium. Okay, and then side loading white. So now we are going to we have the shape in place. We are just going to go around, give that shape, same shape that we sketched. Okay. Touch your floating medium on one side. Completely load your brush with those floating medium. And then side load with white. All you're doing is side loading. And now I'm going on the other side. Same way, I'm just going on other side. Making sure your brush is intact with white side load everything. Now we are just curving upward. Curving upward. Floating medium. Take out excess, maybe with a fresh brush. Wet it, take out excess in the center. Okay. So only the side of the brush is loaded. Now I'm going to go into the bottom. And oops, that's a lot of paint. You want to make sure it's only side loaded, nothing more than that. I'm just cleaning up, going to the fresh side loading. Okay. And I'm just going in. Touch, load, only side loaded, and then connecting that. One more time. Touch. Again, one more time. Floating medium. Just side load. Then one more. You have a curve going out. Same way from the other side. Covering on the bottom. Just curly shape. So now, once the outlining is done, make sure shapes are looking good. And now just pick up fresh brush, nicely fresh brush, and just pick some white. Okay. Fresh white, and you just from the top of your vase Take out excess. Just the floating medium now. And you make use of the blue if you have still, or the grays that you have in your. I'm going to fix that again. This is the way you're showing that. There's water there. And you're adding some going from here, some going from here, some going here. And if it gets too much on the layers, you can just use a fresh brush, pull off some. And now we're going to pick up a touch of yellow, because we're going to have a little bit of yellow shade. And fresh floating medium. You want some clean floating medium. So we're just going to pick up a little bit of yellow completely. Loaded brush. Okay. Nicely loaded with yellow. And now I'm all taking excess paint. Whatever I loaded, but inside still have the right colors that I want, right? So I'm just picking floating medium. So now I'm just going floating medium. All I'm doing is filling some yellow. Adding a little bit on the bottom. Now again, I'm just going to So we did all the filling part, and then if you see this side of the vase is better, this side is little shaped out. In case that happens, we can have some, leaves falling on that to cover up if you're not happy with that, with the vase that you came up with, okay? So most of the inside part will be covered, so you don't have to worry about this inside part, okay? Just applied and then took out all the excess to keep it consistent with the rest of the vase. Alright, now we are going into paint. So I'll keep this aside and then let's start with the first with the leaves, background leaves. And then we'll go with we'll continue to use the 12 flat. I'm going to use different types of greens. For the background is done, vase is done. Now we are doing our leaves. This is lime green, sap green, little bit of orange is also something that I'm going to use for my leaves. And citrus green, yellow is something that I'm going to use. So I'm going to add some yellow. I have yellow in the other palette, so I'm going to use of that. And then white on the other palette. So now we have all the fresh brush, right? So let me start with the background leaves. I'm having mix of different colors, so don't worry if it is yellow also. Now I'm going to get into the greens from this. Green, light green, dark green, double loading. And then make sure your vase is always coming from inside and going outward. We're going to fill that later again. And one more coming from here, going outward. And every stroke, I'm just going to pick up, go back. So we decided to have one stem going from this side, falling this side, right? So for that, let me just start pulling from here. Just the one stroke leaf, touch, pressure, pull. So now I'm going to pick up light white to my palette, touch of floating medium, touch of floating medium on the side I have. So now we're going to just do few leaves on the background. You're just touching, pulling, touching, pulling. And then right away, if you add stems before it gets dried, that will be great. Okay, like this, we're going to fill up some of these with the strokes. Basic one stroke leaves. Touch, pressure, pull. Touch, pressure, pull. Touch, pressure, pull. I want to lighten as I go down, so let's just fix it. Touch of floating medium whenever it's getting dried. Again on this side, one. Just touching. Even if it is mixed up little, I can just go back, fix it. Touch of white to lighten now. And touch of orange also. So this time I'm going to change a little bit of leaves to with the same brush, little different on the shape. So we are just pulling, touch, pull, touch, pull. That's what we are doing now. So touching, pulling, pulling downward. So add a few here. And add some here, going on here. And now with this dark brown, make sure you're covering all the center so that all the bushes are going here, right? So flowers will cover some of these areas. So I'm just making the background little darker there. Just the background. This is one easy technique to make sure you're covering all the back. And we'll add more leaves later, but let's start with this one. All right. So now, using the same brush, we're going to do the rose. I'm just washing my brush. First one is going to be a complete yellow background and white roses. Okay. So we're going to have one rose going here with yellow background. And one rose going here, yellow background. And one rose going here. I'm just doing the placement for now. And then one going here. Okay. So now let me pick up fresh yellow. The rose is going to be more. The rose is going to be more white shade rose. Let me wash this completely. Make sure I get fresh white into the palette. Let's go with the smaller brush, 10 size brush. Okay. So we're going to load the yellow like we have more white, less on the yellow side. Okay. Double load your brush. So before that, let me just pause a minute and let's dry what we have so far. Okay, I'm going to dry. Okay, so dry your canvas a little bit so it's easier for you to do the next step. So I'm just going back, picking up the colors of your choice. Okay, so now it will be easier for you to go load your brush nice with white, touch of yellow.
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
All right, so these strokes we practiced in the last video, so just follow that. I'm going to share the link on the practice sheet, which was covered in our previous video. I'm picking up fresh white every time, okay? That is our rose one. We'll continue with the second one. This is much smaller one. I'm going back, picking up. Picking up fresh white. And then going back. And we are just doing this. Opening up bud. Flower. One more. This one is turning this way. Picking up fresh. One more here. This is just opening up. And this one is much smaller. So you just have few. Okay. We did few white roses going around. And now we're going to have some berry wine. The same way, we're going to get berry wine into the palette. Oh, this is so thick, so I'm just going to pull out. Okay. This is going to be berry wine and some pink. So let's first do the berry wine. One goes here. Okay. And then two more here. Small one small one. One go here. So now we'll pick up some pink and we're going to have berry wine with pink flowers. Let me get the pink here. Where did I keep my pink here? Looking for light pink. I just placed it somewhere. Hopefully, okay. It's not locked. No, it's not locked. Let me pause for a minute. Let me get my pink. Okay, so I found my pink. I'm just pouring pink to my palette. And you have the berry wine already. So I'm just going to add, berry wine is so thick, so it's hard to get the right colors there. So I'm just going to pink on one side and red on the other side. I have too much of paint here. Let me take out excess, go back, and in every stroke I'm going and picking fresh paint there. Every stroke I'm getting my fresh paint there. I think the paint is too thick, so let me just straighten this a little bit. Take out excess. Reload fresh, nice, and then go back. And then here it's more of a bud that we're trying to achieve. So I'm just going to close it quickly. Just filling up, going a little closer. And one more here. Just the same rose strokes that we learned. Just applying, I'm just making it a little bit more looser side. Okay. So we added two different types of flowers here, and now we can make use of this pink that we have and do smaller, some more smaller ones here, or the orange here. How about some 5 petal? Okay, I don't think I like that flower, so I'm just going to take out. And it's only one. Let's keep it. Let me make a smaller version of that. And then, then you might want to add few more buds going around. So I'll just go with pink and red. And then we can fix that one flower later. But we want more buds. So more pink. Going around. Keep picking and then add more buds. Just some loose ones going around. Going downward. And also going some around here. So we covered few white flower roses, few red and pink roses. And now let's just pick up same brush. I'm using the same brush for me. And just the orange. And I'm going to change this flower here. And 3 flowers with these orange ones. 1, 2. And let me fill one going here. Okay. And then some smaller ones going there, going there, going there, going there, going there. So what we are doing here, just picking up orange side load with white and all we are doing is some loose flowers here. The same orange and yellow. Sorry, orange and white. And here I want to have one more. Making it look like bunch of flowers, but that's not looking that great. You can always fix it. I want to make it back into rose. One different color rose here. Yeah. And this one also, let's make it rose here. Picking up fresh white, covering. Okay. So we added bunch of roses. We are good with that. So now let's add some purple flowers. Okay. Purple flowers. So just a smaller size brush, 6 size. Purple or blue will also look good. So we can go with blue. So all we are doing is small daisy flowers. Just load completely with blue and small flowers are we are adding here and there. That's done. Pull it down. And I'm just making it bunches. Just touch, pressure, pull inward. Okay. Those are some quick. In that bunches, now we'll pick up white and add few white flowers overlapping on those yellow ones. I mean the blue ones. Just fresh white, and you're just overlapping. Some flowers going on there. These are just some overlapping flowers that we are doing, going over there. And we want to extend that bunch somewhere here also. So I'm just going to add few here. Covering up on this side also. Covering up, I'm going quiet here. I'm just doing the same strokes repeatedly. So not much to talk about, just going on, covering up. And now I'm going back with white again, same way how we did before. Fresh white, some overlapping flowers. Fresh white. Fresh white. Fresh white. You have two bunches going in here. And now we'll add the dots to the center later, but let's wash this brush and add the smaller leaves with the same brush. Okay. Smaller leaves that go around. I'm just picking up some lighter shades for this. Light green. on my palette and just adding leaves here and there in between. Wherever there is gaps, that's where I'm picking up some leaves. Same way other side. Adding bunches of leaves. And now I'm going with the same brush, going in dark green and covering my buds here, wherever it is not covered. I forgot to finish this rose. Let me finish that once this is done. Fresh green touch. Full. Too much of paint. And inside we're just covering with some leaves, dark leaves. Yeah. Taking too much of paint. Covered some of those flowers and then leaves. Okay. So now we are going to make use of the same brush. Add some leaves. So I'm going to go with 12 flat now. Sorry. Okay. Wet your brush, take out excess water. And now with that fresh brush, I'm going to add green, dark green, touch of orange, touch of pink, all the colors that I have. White, lighter shade, and touch of blue inside the dark green. And I made it into dark touch of floating medium. Okay. Make sure your dark side is having the right paint. And I'm going to just add few big leaves going. Under there. Leaf. Just stroke and unfold. Okay. cherry leaves going falling under the downside. And then few similar leaves I'm going to have going upward there. One more. One more that side. Going back, reloading my brush every time I'm running out of my paints. Making sure my colors are intact. Perfectly loaded. And then I'm going to add few on this side as well. The flowers will also be covered with this next one. Don't worry about that. We want to make sure placements are all looking good. Touch of white. I want to lighten that side so it can be seen better. Didn't come out that great. You can always go back because it's a wet on wet technique. Reload your brush better, nice and fine. Touch of floating medium, straighten your brush. And one more time, I'm going to. Okay. So we added bunches of leaves going around. And now the brush is all little mixed up. So I'm just taking the outer part only, nothing else. And then you should be able to load it back again. Add one more here. So we covered a lot and around, and now we are going to do some filler strokes with the scruffy. And first we'll go with the yellow. Just load completely with the yellow in your palette. So, and I'm just going to pick up a spot. I forgot to do the rose here, so I'm just going to pick this spot. I'm going to have one here. One, two, triangle, right? So I'm going to have one here. So now go into the fresh white, just the fresh white, and dab on the yellow. Go into fresh white. go into fresh white and just have some filler strokes there. Okay. Mm, just the loading of green and covering up little bit with that. Just dark green, light green. Just dark green, light green, and just dabbing. Also, you can pick fresh white. Same way again, one more time. Dark green, light green. And then look around, see where you want to add a little bit on filler strokes. And I can add one going here. So now I'm just going touch of white. Touch of white. So that's all you have on the filler strokes. Let me pause 1 second. Hello?
Shilpa, able to hear you.
Hello? Just covering. Some leaves going down. And sometimes what happens, if leaves will fall down also. But for now, let's just keep it this way. Okay. And touch of white. Touch of white. Okay. One more white. We're just doing the final details here. Okay, I think we are good. I'm just covered on there. And we go with a fresh brush and wet it. All we are doing is maybe a scruffy should be good also. And I'm just picking up floating medium completely. Okay. Complete floating medium. Nothing else for now. Complete floating medium. So as part of this floating medium, all I'm doing is wetting this area nicely. And now I'm just going to pick up fresh white. And then just adding one advantage of adding floating medium is like you can just take out excess that you don't like as it is off. And you still have your darker shade that you need. Now I'm going to pick up one flat brush, wet it, take out excess water, and I'm going to darken my bottom here. Okay. I don't have black here, so let me just pick up some black again. All I'm doing is picking up black, touch, load with floating medium, and I'm darkening my same way. I'm just going to go ahead. Touch of white again on this black.